Welcome back to the Papa Beat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on in and sit on down because today we're talking about colds. Oh my. Now, let me ask you a question. What if you could catch a cold right before it popped off? A little hipster cold. Imagine seeing YouTube videos of Jim Jones before Jonestown happened if you caught him in his first couple followers. Or the same thing with Heaven's Gate being on a live stream on Facebook talking about aliens before they blew up. Or seeing L. Ron Hubbard joining a Zoom call conversation talking about Scientology. If you caught all of those things right before the big boom of these cults, what would you do? Would you be amazed? I know I would. And I am. Because today we are talking about a cult that I believe is right on the precipice of something happening. It is a new age cult called Profundity. Profundity. It is a new age cult called Profundity Yours. Profundity Yours is a contemporary spiritual movement led by their ever so charismatic leader, Linda Good McGillis.
I look at the clouds and they seem strange. You know, some of them turn purple or blue, or that's how you can tell that they're cloud ships and that they're being cloaked by the clouds.
I love when my cult leader looks like some local tail down at the bowling alley. Sounds like she's been eating gravel for the past 20 years.
I drive a starship. Try driving a car in a human world when you're used to driving a starship that has everything in front of you.
Right down deep in her throat. You like that gravel?
Grand rising, grand rising.
Yeah, grand rising, grand rising. She preaches new age beliefs and practices aimed at personal transformation and spiritual awakening. She deals with trauma therapy, and her sessions can be upwards to $500 an hour. I'll tell you what, Nick, that's a professional. $500 an hour, it better be professional. $500 an hour, it better be professional. My God. For 10 years, she's been giving advice from her YouTube channel and various Facebook groups. And of course, Facebook is the place where a new age cult for boomers would start. That's the only logical place where people would actually just be like, oh, well, let me hear you out. Well, why not, dude? Let me just hear what you have to say.
Groups are unhinged. I see one that says like Japanese singles looking for men and has like 100,000 people.
Hey, don't be scrolling through those members because you might find me there, all right? So far, this doesn't sound too bad, right? Just typical run-of-the-mill spirit guru social media person, sure. But if you just look a little deeper, you can see Linda's true power. She claims that in 2014, she was taken over by an alien and that she is a high-ranking commander in the Intergalactic Federation of the Worlds. I'm serious, that's what she says. Not only that, but she is self-described as the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. And that her divine mission is to guide humanity to a new spiritual era, similar to that of Jesus Christ. I love you, Linda. She also refers to herself as I Am, whatever the hell that means. Will I Am, Sam I Am. I love green eggs and ham. Wait! Today's video is sponsored by Gamer Subs. Oh, God, I'm tired. But I can't wait to be pepped up by one of my favorite energy drinks. Gamer Subs! You just throw in a little bit of water, any delicious flavor, and we have our own flavor. Raw meat, which is a cantaloupe watermelon delight. But one of my new favorite flavors is Queso's Nuclear Bombsicle, which has a surprisingly bomb pop taste. They have collectible anime waifu cups so you can shake it out any way you want in public. And they have all of these wonderful flavors below. Gamer Subs is keto-friendly, sugar-free, and goddamn if it isn't good. And there's caffeine-free options just in case you want a little sweet tooth at night. You can use my promo code at checkout to get 10% off your order. So try all the little flavors you want. The discount's on me. So thank you so much, Gamer Subs, for sponsoring the video, and back to the video. But this is just the tip of the iceberg, ladies and gentlemen, which we want to give a shout out now to a guy named Siren Warner, is the Cult Hunter on TikTok and YouTube. He did an amazing job compiling a lot of these ramblings into coherent craziness, because otherwise it's hours of footage of her basically just rambling. That's the best thing about Linda, is that she just does not let anybody else talk. The Siren Warner, or the Cult Hunter, has a lot of great footage. So for that, we thank you. And I just want to do a nice little list of perfectly normal and coherent things that she has said in some of her videos online. In one of her videos, she goes into great detail with her experience as a, quote, walk-in. All right, was laid on the quotation. And how she is an alien inhabiting a human vessel.
How long have I been in Linda's vessel? I walked into this vessel April 25th, 2014.
That's what a walk-in is. Walk-in
No.
is not Chinese takeout. It's alien coming in and you're the vessel. That's a walk-in, all right? Indoctrinating this random human vessel to navigate, to spread the good word, god damn it.
I love how, like, casual it sounds into, like the alien just does it with no effort. I just walk in.
Well, it's such a higher being that the alien's just like, it's a walk-in. Walk in, walk out. I could come out anytime, but Linda is the perfect catalyst. When I see this, I think we're getting the good word out with this vessel. Is that right, Linda?
This is Tesla technology.
You love that voice, don't you?
You can't be a galactic commander because look at your body.
Only 5 walk-ins have occurred throughout history, and 2 have short-circuited.
There's only 5 walk-ins that have occurred, and 2 of them have short-circuited. That's why there's very few actual walk-ins.
I don't know what that means. I think she means that they short-circuited, or maybe the aliens killed the people they were trying to inhabit, and only Linda's big frame was able to handle the power of the aliens.
So my question is she talking like all throughout human history?
I think so.
And is Jesus one of them?
Jesus could very well be one of the walk-ins, Nick. And I don't like that you're laughing about that. Have a little more respect. Profundity is not yours, my friend. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I'm kind of like the Joker.
And Linda's walk-in took 9 months to prepare the vessel. And the vessel wasn't aware of the upcoming walk-in, which she equates this walk-in to the assault that she had in her normal life. Which, if you're not piecing this together, is maybe her dealing with a very traumatic thing that happened in her own life, and now she believes she's an intergalactic Jesus. Perfect and normal way to process that stuff, in my opinion. She has also said that her voice changed and is the way it is now when the walk-in happened.
There was the start of preparing the vessel for the walk-in experience, and I'm aware of that. Did my voice change? Yes.
The journey is usually the part that you remember anyways.
It wasn't the decades of smoking, probably alcohol, screaming, whatever else that's happened. No, it's the alien. That's why she sounds like this.
You guys couldn't handle it if we took off these cloaks of skin and showed you disclosure.
She has a planetary consciousness with 12 great suns, 5 of which have been blown up. And in that moment, humanity was annihilated.
Lights. You guys would freak the shit out of each other. You guys would be driving around down the road and people see ghosts in wrecked cars.
Now you're probably wondering, Hunter, where the hell did that come from? Welcome to the club.
For me, I have a planetary consciousness of 12 great grand central suns, 5 of which have been blown up.
What? Are we going to elaborate any further? And I don't think we are. She believes that she can turn invisible because we are all blue beings.
See, I can disappear. Let me see if I can change the angle of this and show you guys what I mean. Can you see the blue outline here? You guys are blue beings.
I'm a blue being. 1/3 of the population has avatar bodies.
There's 1/3 of the population that has avatar robot bodies.
This is one of my favorite quotes. She has a holographic computer in front of her and that she can speak with her fleet of ships. She throws the word holographic a lot. I always just think of like a giant like Buster Blader Yu-Gi-Oh trading card, and she's just like, I'm gonna contact the fleet of ships and we're getting out of this motherfucker. We can't end these line of thoughts without mentioning that she says, the moon is an artificial construct.
Your guys' moon is an artificial construct.
Not real. Fake. That thing up there? Nah. It's just like the Truman Show. There's a theme of her bringing up Hollywood movies.
Futuristic
dystopian, like Dune. Truman Show? Dune. The exact same movie. Her videos, it's just hours and hours of these ramblings that are incoherent and just one-liners that kind of pop up every once in a while.
Only your Akashic records, because you were moved into not just a different broadband frequency, but you were taken through a wormhole that was not expected.
What? What the hell did you say? It sounds like the ramblings of a boomer astrology ketamine addict in the middle of nowhere in a trailer park somewhere in Texas. That's what the videos feel like, and in a weird way, it's a whiplash of fun. All right, my neck has never fully recovered from the amount of times I was just, snapping back to see exactly what the hell she was saying.
That's another good movie too, Whiplash.
Shout out to Whiplash, the movie. Can we try to spin that Whiplash is also a sci-fi somehow? But you know, who would be so gullible for all this stuff? Apparently, quite a few people. In fact, she has enough old rich people paying for her sessions that she was able to buy $1 million compound and restaurant in the small Texas town of Marietta. To look at this woman and just be like, you are doing better off financially than I am, makes me so sad. Well, I mean, all it is just getting your vessel lined up. That's all I had to do. That's all I had to do. Fuck it, we're changing the channel. Papa Meat will now be... It takes a while to get good branding. Her moving into the town, buying a compound, then buying a restaurant in town, almost middle of nowhere, not a huge population town. It reads a lot like the cult who moved into Oregon, made a compound, was following a leader, bought property in the town, and tried taking it over. It just feels a bit serendipitous, if you don't mind me. I mean, it just feels a little too close to not feel like a cult.
Of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.
Those of you that are not aware, there's a group of people that have been spreading that the Profundity Yours team is a cult and that I am brainwashing people.
You know, you're checking all the boxes almost immediately. And what I love about Linda is she feels like she's persecuted. You know, she's just like, people are trying to say that we're a cult. It's like you are doing everything in your power to convince everybody that you're a cult, Linda. Her ranch is called the Emerald City Sunlights Ranch, and that is where she and a dozen of her followers live full time. Yes. Some of the boomers did leave their computer from Facebook and go and move on the ranch. How? It's insane what desperate people will do. It's fucking insane. The compound is described as a community-focused environment where members engage in various spiritual practices, including meditation, energy healing, and other New Age rituals, aka old people fucking like crazy. New Age rituals, all that stuff, it's like a swingers thing. There's definitely fucking, sucking, grabbing, squeezing, all kinds of stuff, dude. Yeah, I'd have my plane ticket booked. But it's not just a small handful of loyal devotees. She has thousands of followers online, and Linda is preparing Emerald City for 144,000 refugees to come to town. Do I think that's gonna happen? No. Do I think Linda think that's going to happen? Yeah, I do believe that. These people are looking for her guidance and seek her teachings. What exactly are some of the teachings that Linda can give you? We have something called light language, which is my favorite part of all of this.
Will activate solar codes within. More likely chaos.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
It makes me giddy almost. I want a Rosetta Stone DVD of light language immediately to be in my mail. This is a form of communication that she teaches her followers in order to communicate with higher spiritual beings. Also, not to be rude, if you just did an overlay of Jabba the Hutt over her face, you might not know the difference. This nonsensical language is used during her rituals and meditations and is said to be the only language before we put on our skin suits. Yikes. Yikes.
Serial killer shit.
That's some fucking definite serial killer stuff. She also teaches a process called diamondizing, which these processes, with looking at her in the 80s, I wonder if she was a smoke show, because these are all processes that I would say are hazing for strippers. All right, Rose, time to diamondize you. Get up on the pole. This is a way to control one's mind and achieve spiritual clarity. This involves eliminating negative thought patterns through diamondizing. One can align their thoughts and actions with higher spiritual purposes. One way to achieve this is to cut off ties with family members and others who are perceived as negative influences. Cults definitely don't have you separate entirely from your family structural system, because then you'd have to rely on the cult, and Linda wouldn't do that, right?
But I love them. I can't let go of it, Linda. The best piece of guidance I can give, let go.
It's the same people who are like, you're not praying enough. You're not getting what you want because you're not praying hard enough. It's that kind of deal.
A tactic too, where they're like, my family says this is a cult, and they're like, why remove them that negative energy?
Yeah, you don't need that. We're your family now. Don't you feel good around us?
You need to cut out all those people.
Boomers. So everyone they probably fucking know are dead. Their parents are probably all dead anyways.
Just give me your money and start talking to me in that funny language. Here's the DVD, Rosetta Stone DVD. Take that and put it in your DVD player. I just downloaded a whole bunch of Dave Matthews Band off LimeWire.
There's Spotify, Linda. Just use Spotify.
No. Now a higher being still uses lime wire.
She believes that this isolation is necessary for individuals to focus on their spiritual growth and to maintain the high vibrational frequencies required for diamondizing. This is some textbook cult stuff too, of very vague, random words thrown together that don't make a lot of sense, that make you sound smarter than you are. And if you say anything with confidence, then people will most likely just believe you know what you're talking about, even though it's a string of words that it makes no sense at all.
Star Trek, dude.
That's what I'm saying. She's just like,
Next Generation's my favorite. Picard could take me any way he wants it.
you can't have a cult without some kind of prophecy of ascending into a higher plane or having some kind of doomsday lurking over you. And Linda emphasizes the need for her followers to raise their vibrational frequencies to prepare for the quote, shift. Linda has made several doomsday predictions, suggesting that major cataclysmic events such as pole shifts and solar flares are imminent. Ooh, this is a great quote.
We're at the end of ages. Where all time and space continuum are being balanced and neutralized, so you can have a brand new beginning.
And one of these prophecies was supposed to happen in 2023 during the spring solstice.
The spring equinox of 2023. Now, again, hear my words, people. Don't put your own interpretation to the information. When I speak of 2023 in the spring equinox, that is when we anchor fully all of the diamondizing into the grid. The grid will be diamondized by that point.
But as you know, since you're watching the video right now with me in 2024, it didn't happen. The world is still here. Sorry, Linda.
Do you think she made that prophecy like 10 years ago when she first started?
No, I like to think Linda was like,
In 6 weeks, the world is gonna end.
I feel like she's probably that delusional, where people are like, you're right.
She's like, I know I'm fucking right. I saw it when I was smoking crack. I mean, eating fentanyl. I mean, when I was meditating, I saw the world end right before my eyes.
She emphasizes that only those who follow her teachings will be spiritually prepared to survive and ascend, which once again, classic cult mentality. Only people who follow me will be able to get on the ship and fly away from this planet. Little Heaven's Gate-ish. It's almost plagiarism by this point, is what it feels like. One of the ways she teaches you how to achieve ascension is through a thing called candle meditation. The meditation leads to the awakening and lets us access 100% of our brains instead of the 3 to 5% that scientists say that's all we use. AKA, she watched Limitless with Bradley Cooper, and she was like, holy shit, I wish I had one of those fucking pills. To do so, all you need to do is get an open flame candle and place it at eye level, and stare at it with a blank mind. I 100% believe she was smoking crack cocaine and she looked at a candle for an uninterrupted 33 minutes and she was like, I just saw God. This is a conscious exercise and it's not a trance. The difference is that in a trance, you're escaping, you're letting other thoughts come in. And this, as a conscious exercise, you are building yourself to remove every thought in your head and just focus on the candle. If you are able to do this for 33 minutes perfectly, it will stop the artificial intelligence inverted matrix from going on in your mind, and you will be able to unlock the potential to your full unconscious. Because right now your vessel is being plagued by other things. You got to block it out, and whenever you do that for 33 minutes, everything else disappears and your body, your true conscious, succumbs to finally taking care of itself. She was able to master this in 3.5 weeks. But this does 3 things for you, candle meditation. It unlocks your true psyche. It makes you stop bowing to the puppet master that's in your head. And in the video, she doesn't really touch on the other 2 things. It's kind of interesting. Actually, what ends up happening is the person she's talking to gets bored or something, and she just cuts her off, and she's like, okay, cool. Well, thank you so much, Linda. And she's like, I wasn't finished. And she just cuts her off, okay?
Different vibrational frequency of truth coming at you that goes against the information in your energy field that you're holding. And when you can let go...
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's very interesting. I've never heard that before.
So that's how it is. We don't really know the other 2 things, but just know that first one is very powerful. So maybe candle meditate, all right? She's taking self-help book stuff and sci-fi movies and combining them together. I mean, she references Ex Machina
But because I can see that it doesn't have no life force energy, it's just like the movie Ex Machina.
I mean, she's basically touched on limitless. It almost seems like her being an angel in this vessel reads just like Evangelion. And I think she also brings up Honey, I Shrunk the Kids at one point as well. She cannot stop talking about movies that she's seen and correlating it with the existence that she's trying to make for herself and her followers. In one of her videos, she explains the concept of energy out, energy returned.
John Paul, you're an asshole. I have just put out energy. And maybe I said it jokingly. Maybe he really was being a dick.
She goes into how we can deal with trauma by just moving on, and that things are out of our control because of things that our past selves have done. Nothing, you are in control of nothing, and if something bad happens to you, it's because you're letting that energy out. Did you get assaulted? Well, why did you put that energy out, you stupid bitch, is pretty much what she's saying. And she goes as far to mock those people. And not only does she mock them, she has to one-up her own trauma over people, because no one can ever be as traumatized as Linda, our Christ alien savior. Sam I am, Will I am, green eggs and ham. In a video, there's even a woman who asks repeatedly, why have I been continuously assaulted in my life? Why has the universe given me that? And she responds by just victim blaming and just saying, well, you put out that energy and that's what you get.
Why have I been drugged and raped so many times? As within, so without. And nobody likes to understand what is known as karma.
But this is also a tactic of putting people down to where the only opportunity or only answer is to hold that over them, that Linda has all the answers, and that the only way that they can get out of this rut is by listening to her, aka that's grooming. That's grooming a cult member, is what that is, ladies and gentlemen. That leads me to my next point. Is this a cult? Is it a new age cult out in the middle of nowhere in Texas? Or is it just a bunch of bored boomers coming together and talking about sex and aliens and all kinds of weird stuff under the guise of an old lot lizard with a gravelly voice? And to that, I say it's both. In a lot of ways, I think it's both. This is why I found it so fascinating and why I wanted to do this video, is that I do think it's both. I think that we are at the perfect precipice in this cult before anything truly awful happened. Yes, Linda somehow was able to garner $1 million to buy a ranch and a restaurant in this small town, but hopefully the only negative so far is people may have given some money, but nothing as bad as a Jonestown, nothing as bad as a Heaven's Gate, but it feels like we're right at that precipice. It feels like, who knows, if no one would have figured this out, and it would have popped on the news one day, would it have been much worse? I feel that's what's so fascinating to me, is that nothing inherently bad has happened now, but it doesn't mean that it couldn't have happened. And that's the most horrifying part of all of this, is the power of Facebook boomers having too much time and needing companionship, needing something to believe in. One of the biggest signs of a cult is getting desperate people looking for answers to follow you and give you their undivided devotion. Linda claims that people's lives reset infinitely, and that soon the end times are coming and only her teachings can save them. And one ex-member said that she was sent away to California to go find herself. She was a disease, a virus, a bad seed, and the whole reason why the ranch wasn't working. And there's been videos and documentation of all the members wearing green cloaks at some times, very reminiscent of the Heaven's Gate people were wearing the same clothes.
For those of you that are not aware, there is a group of people that have been spreading that the Profundity Yours team is a cult and that I am brainwashing people. Yep.
Linda says that she's the victim in these situations and that people are targeting her for no reason, but really she has done everything in her power to basically shout from the rooftops, hey, I'm starting a cult. Hey, Ma, I'm starting a cult, is what it feels like. And the most haunting part of all of this is all of the reoccurring characters. Even as far back as their earliest uploads in 2021, there's still some of the same fixtures of like a dozen people back and forth, sitting in the same spots, talking about the same stuff, following her every word. And to me, that is just, it's horrifying. And even since then, the last upload was in 2023, kind of when TikTok was blowing her up, kind of when people were starting to make a bit of a ruckus, and now it's gone completely cold. Remember that restaurant I said that she bought? That was the only restaurant in that town. She controlled the entire social dynamic of that town by running it. And the locals, God-fearing Christians in this Bible Belt of a middle of nowhere Texas town, were hearing whispers of a cult leader owning the one business in their town, the one restaurant. So they kicked her out. She got kicked out. And now people have even said that she has been on the road since. I wouldn't say on the run. I just think she has been traveling. And the craziest thing too is that the people that were living on her ranch have been riding with her. It begs the question too, to, has this cult stopped? And I don't think it has. I think it's still going on right now, but is remaining in the shadows. We don't really know. Does it still have the reach it once had? No. But if there's still like some innocent people being affected by this thing, it's still a fucking horrifying tale. Even if it is as simple as Linda, who doesn't look the most threatening, right? I don't think this is the last time that we'll hear from Profundity Yours. It might not be this year, might not be next, but I feel like we are going to hear from them again at some point in the future. I have empathy for Linda. I have empathy for the people that joined her cult as well. People who join cults are not stupid. It is not stupid people. As much as some of the video footage may not help that perception, people who join cults are people who are basically suffering from some kind of traumatic experience. They're reaching out, and this is the first thing that kind of grabs a hold of them and they can believe in something. People who join cults are productive members of society. That's the only reason that cults work. Some people get help in their own ways. Sometimes you get a new friend group, and some people wind up in a fucking cult off Facebook. And as for Linda, my beautiful Jabba the Hutt sounding queen with her beautiful Rosetta Stone DVD language, I too think that she is just a person who has been through a lot of shit from both ends. She's been the person to hurt people, and she has been hurt before too. And I don't think there's any excuse that somebody can give that their trauma just lets them be the person that they want to be, or that they can like affect other people, manipulate people to give her money. I don't think any of that shit, but I think just on a human level, I feel bad for a person who has been so beaten down and so thrown through the gutters that she now believes that she is an alien super Christ living here on Earth who is speaking a made-up language.
Love Baba, love mama.
It's just a sad existence for a human being, and I feel sorry for that. But that being said, this new age cult, I don't know. Is this the end? I don't know. I have no idea, but I did find it fascinating. It's so weird what just a couple clips from Zoom can do. A couple people wearing some similar clothes, people making up a strange language to really, I don't know, send a shiver down your spine. At least it does for me. Cult stuff is just fucking creepy, man. Brainwashing, hive mind stuff, it's weird. So if you know any other cults that maybe I don't know about, let me know. I'm a little cult nut. I am gonna sign up. I'm gonna give all my money to Linda. I'm gonna say, Linda, you can stay here with me. Linda, take your caravan of people. You can stay with me. Papa Meat will be Papa Profundity. But until next time, Profundity is yours. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey, mama. Love Salon. Aisa Koro. Tasi Sasa.
Be silent.
Oh.